And I'll just do the welcome in 2 minutes.
Sure. They can see all of us, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to turn off my camera. So other than the presenters and the host, we can all turn off our cameras, I guess.
I'll turn mine off once I've done the welcome.
Yeah.
We have 16 people. They're coming in.
Morning, everybody. Next one here. Good morning, everybody. I still see some more people are joining, but we're going to get started right on time for our first presentation for our Senior Immigrant Safety Expo. We're so excited to have this event this week and excited for all of our partners that are showing up to present and give us useful information. So I want to welcome you to the Senior Immigrant Safety Expo hosted by A&O and with funding from the New Horizons for Seniors program. Today's first presenter is Gail Henderson Brown, and she's joined by her colleagues Harman and Bavleen from, all of them are from the Canadian Red Cross. Gail is an injury prevention coordinator, and she is going to share with you some information on winter safety and also some tips on being safe in winter, like to prevent fires in your home and how to be safe and happy in winter. So I'd like to welcome Gail and her colleagues to start their session. Welcome.
Welcome. Thank you. I'm just going to share our screen first. And there we go. And share screen. Okay, I just, okay. Hello, Bavleen. How are you this morning? Excellent. I'm just still trying to, there we go. Okay, allow. Okay. I'm trying to get the PowerPoint up and we will get started. Welcome everybody. Good morning. Ready, safe, winter and fire safety. And we'd like to begin by acknowledging that we are on Treaty 1 territory and the land on which we gather is the traditional territory for the Anishinaabe, Cree, Oji-Cree, Dakota, and Dene people, and on the homeland of the Métis Nation. And we acknowledge that our water is sourced from Shoal Lake 40 First Nation. Gail. We know that a lot of you are from different parts of Manitoba and probably different parts of Canada and around the world. So we'd like you in chat to tell us write in your acknowledgement from the location that you are from. Give you a bit of time to do that. I am going to see where my PowerPoint presentation has gone. It should still be there. Yep. Okay.
Gail, sorry to interrupt between, but I guess you're sharing your Zoom video and they all can see me instead of the presentation.
Oh, okay. All right.
So when you click
I'm trying to find the presentation. Screen share, select window. I just, nope. I can't seem to find my, I really can't seem to find my PowerPoint presentation.
That's okay. I can share my presentation.
Thank you. Okay. And we'd like to introduce ourselves. So again, please feel free to let us know in chat what is your country of origin and how long you've lived in Winnipeg or Manitoba. As I was introduced, my name is Gail. I'm currently the Injury Prevention Coordinator for the Canadian Red Cross Winnipeg office. And I've been a volunteer for a very long time, as when I was young, my mom used to take me on her volunteer shifts to the Red Cross. I'd like to have the volunteers introduce themselves, and we'll go in alphabetical order, starting with Bavleen.
Hello, everyone. Hope you can hear me fine. My name is Bavleen Kaur, and I'm really glad to be here. I'm an international student at the University of Winnipeg, and I've been volunteering with Canadian Red Cross for 2 years now. I'll pass it on to Harmandeep now.
Hello, everyone. My name is Harman. As Bavleen, I was also a student at U of W, University of Winnipeg. I just got graduated, and I started my journey with the Red Cross as an intern student, and it's almost a year, and I'm still enjoying it. A lot of learning curves and a ton of new opportunities. So that's all from me. I'll pass on to Gail now.
Okay. Thank you. And on behalf of Bavleen and Harmandeep and the other injury prevention volunteers and staff who've worked hard at this, bringing you this safety presentation, we'd also like to thank A&O Support Services for Older Adults for inviting us to present, especially Karina and Lorena for all their hard work on this Senior Immigrant Safety Expo. We'd also like to thank the United Way for their continued support for injury prevention programs here in Winnipeg and in Brandon. So some of you have already found the chat, so that's excellent. We will be, during the presentation, Bavleen and Harmandeep will be asking you, similar to what I did, put some responses in chat, let us know what you're thinking. In the Q&A button, if your mouse goes over to the Q&A button, that is when you can ask us specific questions. So throughout the presentation, Harmandeep or Bavleen may be answering some of those questions, or they may be holding off until the end when we actually have a specific Q&A question period. All right. So on your screen now, Bavleen is going to flip the screen for me because she's in charge of the screen today. On the screen, you will see, I think Bavleen is going to do it. Maybe Bavleen can't do it. 3 Red Cross, Red Crescent, and Red Crystal emblems. There we go. These are the international signs. The emblems are recognized around the world for the signs of protection and neutrality. Here in Canada, we use the Red Cross symbol, but the other countries use the Red Crescent or the Red Crystal. And these emblems are used around the world to show that we are Red Cross workers and volunteers. And in chat, you can let us know which country you're familiar with. Which emblem are you familiar with in your country? I'm just going to scroll to chat and see. Oh, hello. Everyone's doing well. Thank you. Okay, right. Remember, we've got to speak slowly. All right. Thank you for that reminder. Okay. So now I'm going to hand it over to Bavleen, who is going to start the presentation with winter safety. Thank you, Bavleen.
Okay, thank you, Gail, for the introduction. So we're starting with falls. That is the third largest cause of injury-related death. There will be a presentation later specifically on falls prevention. We are focusing on winter safety and giving you some tips to hopefully prevent slipping on ice. Far too many injury hospitalizations are seniors aged 65 and over. Falls can happen anywhere and anytime. Let's analyze this picture. Let's see what could be the reason for this person to fall. Hands in pockets, because of no mitts or gloves, or maybe carrying too many things. So not balanced or protected from a serious injury. Is he wearing proper footwear? Was he rushing to work? Well, at least he has on warm clothes and a toque. Walking on icy area, he should be walking on a sanded area. Remember, while walking on a slippery area, have at least one free hand if you do fall, one for the handrail or the wall. Walk with care. Leave your home with lots of time to reach your destination. It is very dangerous to feel stressed and need to rush and hurry to get somewhere. You have to be extra cautious at night when you're dressed in darker clothes and head coverings like toques and scarves. We'll move to the next slide now. Okay. Extra strain on your heart. Cold weather puts extra strain on your heart. Seniors and people with certain chronic health conditions should not shovel snow in the winter because it increases your risk of a heart attack. Everybody should walk slower and take breaks to drink water. Dehydration. Dehydration can happen in cold weather, so it is important to drink lots of fluids, especially water. If you get headaches, dizzy, or nausea, you might be dehydrated and need to sit down and drink some water. Tea, coffee, and hot chocolate may taste better, but they contain caffeine and do not replace natural water loss. Warm water is a great option. Hypothermia. Hypothermia is the loss of body heat, and frostnip, it's a mild form of frostbite where only the
Bavleen.
skin. Yep.
We're having trouble with the slides. The slide that I see on my screen is still the falls. Is that what everyone else is seeing?
I'm seeing winter safety.
We're seeing winter safety.
Okay. Oh, good. Good. All right. Thank you.
Okay, no worries. So, as I was saying, 50% of your body heat is lost through head and neck. Wearing a hat and scarf during your Manitoba winters may prevent hypothermia and frostbite on ears and noses. I'm going to show you some clothes and demonstrate how you can wear them and keep yourself safe. I'm going to start my video. I would like a thumbs up from Harmandeep or Gail if you can see my video. Okay, perfect. So, starting from protect from frostbites. Wearing gloves are helpful, but well, Manitoba weather, it is, so this might not be enough. You must wear mitts. So these are a great option if you maybe like to play in snow or you're just out in snow, because these give an extra protection to your hands above the gloves. Next, our nose and our ears, they're very sensitive and they can get frostbite easily. It's important that we cover them properly. You can use a light scarf to cover your nose and then your ears, or maybe just tuck it in. I made a knot at the back so that it's tight enough to protect me. And then if it's too cold, you can wear another scarf on it, like this. This one is my favorite. It just keeps my ears and my nose well, and I love the color. There we go. Another important thing is to cover your head. Well, this looks like a pretty good thing to cover my head, right? But is it enough? I don't think so. So try wearing warmer clothes and dress in layers. So you can wear this, like this. You see? And have your mitts on and your scarf. There you go. And you're well protected from the winters. But let's not forget our feet. Our toes are very sensitive as well. Oh, and you see, it doesn't take that much time to remove them. So make sure that you wear them when you're outside to protect yourself, and you can remove them easily when you go inside when there's heat. So when you're buying shoes, try to buy a pair that's one size bigger than your actual size so that there's enough space for you to wear heavy socks. These keep your feet warm and do not let the body heat go out. Also, make sure you have enough space in your shoes so that your toes can wiggle. Okay, it's important that our fingers, our toes, they can wiggle and they're not stuffed at one point. Try to wear shoes with good grips so that it's easier to walk on snow or ice and you won't slip. Okay, so that was for the annotation. Oh, and I was looking for my mask. I don't have to wear a mask because I'm in a meeting. Okay. So we're gonna move. I'm gonna stop my video now so that I can share my screen properly. And we're gonna focus on the presentation now. In the last slides, you learned some tips on living safely in Winnipeg during the winter, how to dress warm, how to stay safe while walking, and enjoying outdoors or waiting for a bus. I would like to talk about driving safely now. So can you tell us in the chat if you drive or not? Do any of you drive? Okay. So I see mixed ones coming. Okay, so you see you. Okay, so some of us do drive and some don't. Well, that's okay. We have got points for both drivers and for the passengers. Okay, so let's analyze this picture now. It's taken from a car and you can see reduced visibility. Lights are on, not driving close to the other cars. Distraction due to new snow. So winter weather is a factor in thousands of preventable motor vehicle collisions. We say preventable because they are preventable, and if we take proper measures, we can prevent them. Let's talk about some of those tips. Well, it takes longer to stop on snow, covered or icy roads. So reduce your speed and leave ample distance between your vehicle and the one in front of you. You should allow extra travel time to your destination and extra time and space to change lanes and turn safely. As a pedestrian, walk on sidewalks whenever they're available. If there is no sidewalk, make sure you walk facing traffic and as far from traffic as possible. Be alert of your surroundings. Whether you're driving or you're just going to be in the passenger seat, maintain the vehicle, get regular tune-ups, check your fluid levels and your tires. If you get stuck or stranded, don't panic. Stay with your vehicle for safety and warmth and call for help. Always have a kit ready in your car in case of a breakdown, flat tire, other situations, or even a storm that prevents you from reaching your destination. Consider if you cannot drive or you cannot take a ride and have to walk. consider keeping comfortable footwear in your kit or your car. And always have first aid ready. That was about winter driving. I'm gonna pass it on to Harmandeep now. We'll talk about fire safety.
Hello, everyone. It's me, Harman here. So I'll be presenting fire safety now. So let's talk about fire safety causes and prevention. October was a fire prevention month because it is the beginning of many seasons with different celebrations and festivals in November, December, all the way to January. For example, I'm an Indian, so we celebrate Diwali and we make a lot of dishes, sweets, and which uses a lot of oil, cooking oil, and electricity. We burn crackers in as a gesture of celebrations. We are happy, right? And so that's how it's important to learn about fire safety. So now we are going to review two main causes of fires in our household: electricity and kitchen fires. So moving on to our next slide. Electrical fires at home are caused because too many plugs are connected into one wall socket and children are sticking things into the wall socket like hairpins, keys, and paper clips. The danger with so many cords put together is that they get warm and they get too hot that melts the plastic, which initiate a fire. Also, electricity is attracted to electricity. So there can be arcs between the outlets, which will cause the sparks to fly and can cause fire. In the next slide, we'll be learning about cooking household and appliances. Here are some suggestions to prevent burns from cooking and household appliances. First of all, don't let your children play in the kitchen while the stove is being used. Have them stand in the doorway if they want to talk to you. Turn the pot handles towards the center of the stove to avoid knocking them off as you walk by across it. Try to stay calm. Grease fires should be smoothed by covering it with a lid, but not with water. Try to turn off the element or the appliance you are using. So I'll request you to put in chat what else can be used to put out a kitchen fire. So please respond while typing in chat. I'll give you guys a few moments. Wet towel. Actually, we can't cause wet like water. It's a good conductor of electricity, so it can initiate the fire to more extent. So maybe a fire extinguisher in our kitchen area, it's a good idea to keep it. Yeah, the only disadvantage of throwing a blanket on water on the kitchen fire is that we cannot leave the fire unattended. So we have to grab the blanket from our rooms, right? From our bedrooms. So we are leaving the kitchen fire unattended, which can cause more damage, right? So yeah, but those are really good examples of that. I hope you guys get to know about it a little better. So let's talk about smoke alarms with batteries. In Manitoba, it is the law that landlords should install a smoke alarm in every home and apartment they rent. Smoke alarms reduce the risk of death by 50%, and that's a huge, huge number. So I'll ask you guys another question. where should your smoke detector should be located in your household? Either type in chat and see where should we locate our or keep our smoke detector in every area of the house. That's a good example, Nazar. So yeah, you're right. It should be on the outside ceiling of our bedrooms, kitchen area, lobby area, corridor. Another great example. So it should be on every floor of your house. Yeah, exactly. Mine is at the center of living room and kitchen ceiling. Exactly, that's what I'm talking about. Good. So approach your landlord if you haven't have one in your place. If the smoke alarm is not hardwired into your electrical system, which means there are no batteries required, then test your smoke alarm once a month and change the batteries regularly. Pro tip, that's what I use is daylight saving dates, that because they are easy to remember. Remember, spring ahead, fall back. So yesterday, November 7th, when the clock changed, now would be the good time to change the batteries in your smoke detector or smoke alarm if it's not hardwired into your home. Let's talk about fire extinguisher now. So first and most important, to safely use a fire extinguisher, read the instructions beforehand on here or on the photo that's on your screen. It's very important to use the fire extinguisher for the type of fire. Like, for example, kitchen fires would be different from a fire in the garage or at your workplace, to make sure you are using the right type of fire extinguisher. And there's another thing to keep in mind, it should be easy to reach. It must be located where it can be easily reached, accessible, can be easily seen. It shouldn't be buried in a cupboard or a closet. Fire is small, okay. It must be in a good working order. So make sure you inspect it once a month, just as your smoke detectors, right? Remember, your safety is the first priority. Make sure to use the fire extinguisher if the fire is still small. If it's getting out of hand, call 911 immediately. So as we have learned about the fire extinguisher, now we talk about emergency preparedness kit. Let's start with an overview of why do we need to get prepared. In Manitoba, we do get severe weather conditions, which can cause situations that will require us to leave our households, homes, or like workplaces for a few days. It's always a good idea to be prepared for 72 hours or 3 days in case of a weather-related emergency, including power outages or winter storms. Another good example of this would be COVID-19, where we have to minimize the amount of times we leave our household places. Isn't that right? So emergency kits comes in all sizes and shapes depending upon what you need. You can keep everything in one place, or at least know it's easy to reach in case of emergency. So some things that we can keep in mind that before, as we prepare our emergency preparedness kit, is that make sure your kit is easily accessible, easy to find, and you are able to transport it with ease. Everyone should know where it is, including your family members, children, or your loved ones. You can either purchase a kit like this from Red Cross, or you can make one at your home using your backpack or your rubber container or even a suitcase. Some important items to include in your emergency preparedness kit might be your emergency contact list. it's very important to write down at least 2 key contacts in case of an emergency, because your phone might die. You might have network issues, right? So we don't memorize stuff because of all technological advancements. We are not obliged to memorize it, right? So it's always a good habit to write it down. So another thing we can carry are our important documents. For example, copies of your passports, license, or any other such documents. For pets, add names, type of your pets, and note the pet-friendly shelter options near you. Make sure your pet has a name tag. Pets often cannot stay with people. They may need their own shelter, right? Because of COVID-19, in my kit, I'll keep extra pair of face masks, disposable glasses, gloves, sorry, and hand sanitizers. These are must things at the moment, right? So another things that we should keep in our emergency preparedness kits is enough water for drinking, at least for 3 days, and 1 liter per person. Non-perishable foods that are ready to eat. For example, dry fruits or granola bars that are rich in carbohydrates. I'll keep a lighter to light up my 40-hour-long candle, or even firewood, right? If I'm stuck in the woods or in a forest. Another thing I'll keep is Band-Aids, because I might get wounded while coming out while rushing anything, right? So it comes handy. One more important thing, a torch, a flashlight. So I have the one that gets charged by doing this. So it doesn't need batteries, and it also gets charged with sunlight. And another cool thing about it, it beeps. So if I'm in case of emergency, I can do this. It's gonna be a little annoying, so keep in mind. Cool stuff, right? Oops. So yeah, these are a few of the options that I'll keep, but you will receive a pamphlet like this that's gonna tell more what else you can keep in your own kit, depending upon your needs. And there's a number to personal disaster assistance, which will provide shelter to the ones in case of emergency. And my friend Bavleen will write it down, or Gail, please write that number down in the chat so that everyone can have a look on it. Okay, now that we have learned the emergency preparedness kit, let's talk about our fire escape plan. So let's analyze the picture we have on screen. Okay. We are going to look at how you plan to leave your home and where to meet your family. Let's talk about if there's a fire at your household or your apartment. Your family should have a home escape plan ready. A home escape plan shows all the possible ways you can get out of your house with ease in case of fire. So if you see the red line on your screen, that's your best choice or the #1 choice to get out of your house, which might be your front door or can be your back door, right? The second line is the yellow line, which is your second option, which can be your windows, but make sure to check your windows first that you can actually open them. Sometimes in winter they freeze. Sometimes they are really hard to open. So I have a question in chat. At least there should be 3 to 2 exit in the house. Exactly. But the thing is, hold on. But the thing is, Nazar, we cannot always use the windows because I live in a basement and I have the grills that goes across the windows and protects my house from intruders. So make sure if you want to use the windows or any other way of exit, you can access that easily in case of an emergency. Next thing, try to practice your plan, one for day and one for night, so people can get comfortable with it. Find and select a meeting place. A meeting place is somewhere safe. You can go and wait for your family members as you leave your house. The police and firefighters will come and ask you if your family is with you, if everyone's safe. Practice it with your family. Make sure everyone is comfortable with your plan. So let's conclude what we have learned so far. Having a plan means, moving on to the, yeah, awesome. Having a plan means you will know what to do to keep yourself safe and your family members or your loved ones safe in case of emergency. Your plan should be personal and should consider children. What are emergency plans for their schools or daycares, including emergency procedures on how staff will reach you during an emergency? Make sure all contact information in the school has been up to date, including your designated contact if you are not available. Teach children to know your designated person and how to contact them. Second, older adults and individuals with mobility or other considerations. Older adults or individuals with specific needs, such as mobility, health disability, or other medical conditions could affect the emergency planning needs. Consider extra time required to safely move people. If you have a caregiver, they should also be made aware of the emergency plan. Third, pets. Consider your pets will be, consider where your pets will be and how to evacuate them in case of an emergency. Public shelters may not always allow pets following an emergency, so call your municipality ahead of time to check if pets are permitted, but service animals are always permitted. So I guess you were able to learn some few steps from this presentation. That's all from me. I'll pass on to Gail.
Hi. So what we're going to do right now, because we have a bit of time, which is wonderful, we'd actually like you, Bavleen is going to go back to the fire escape plan slide. And we're going to want, I can show you my plan for my home. This is my plan. It's just a sketch of our our top floor. And we have a big living room window that we cannot open. It's just a plain sheet of glass, so we cannot open it. So we've got an X on that plan. We've got a front door and a back door that we can go out of. The most important part of this plan is that fire spreads sideways. So when you're in your home and you're thinking about a meeting place, you need to go across the street. So for example, my neighbor, who's about 80 years old, she and I and my husband have planned that if there's a fire in either one of our homes, we are going to go across the street to our neighbor. And he and his wife, if there is a fire on either side of him or in his house, he will come across the street to our house. So you need to look somewhere a little bit farther away than your front yard, because again, the fire department, the police, the ambulance, they will be coming to the front of your home. So you need to be away from that area. You guys have been doing so much good chat that we'd like to see if there's one or two of you who can actually help us by creating your plan. We can help you create your plan. So if one of you wants to tell us if you live in an apartment or a house, because that will create a different plan if it's an apartment or a house. And then if you want to do it in chat, you'd also like to tell us how many people live with you in that apartment. So I'm just going to find a picture of an apartment. Okay, so this is an apartment. Okay, and if you live on the top floor or the 5th floor or something higher than the first 2 floors, you will not be able to use the elevator. So you will need to open a window and blow a whistle or wave something bright that hopefully will be in your emergency kit so that you can alert the people down below, and people can look up and say, hey, there's somebody on the 5th floor. There's somebody way up there trying to get our attention. So make sure when you're in an apartment, you have that emergency kit ready with something bright to wave out the window and whistles like the siren on the flashlight that Harmandeep showed us. Okay. We live in a bungalow with 4 residents in it. We have 2 exits. Hence, we have a safe exit on either side. Excellent. So that is good. And hopefully you have actually spoken to all 4 of the people that live with you about how you're going to get out in the middle of the night, or how you and where you're going to go in the wintertime. Because Winnipeg, we have very cold winters. It's not good to go to some place where you're thinking you're going to meet outside. So that would be good. We can go through the sunroom. Okay, excellent. Thank you.
Sorry to interrupt, Gail. Just to let you know, we have about
Bavleen is just going to go to the next. Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt, Gail. We just have about 5 minutes left.
Okay, we can go to the end of the slides.
If
Bavleen will take us to our summary slide. I think we have a question. Okay. Okay. I don't know the answer to that. The summary slide lets us know, it's kind of a checklist that you can take home with you. So you can write this down, that yes, in the wintertime, you are going to dress in layers to stay warmer, that having a t-shirt on and a hoodie and a jacket, snow pants, it's much safer in the wintertime. That you are going to walk safely and drive safely. It takes longer to get places. You don't want to rush. So you want to make sure that you are able to get there on time. Okay. The next one is that you'll rest and drink water. It's really important in the wintertime. The stress on our hearts, like Bavleen said, so rest and drink water. You'll go home today, or maybe you're at home right now. Check the safety equipment. Look up and see what the smoke alarm is doing. Where is your fire extinguisher? Kitchen and basement are the 2 places that a fire extinguisher should be. Do you have a safety kit? Where is your escape plan? And most importantly, create the safety plan and then share it and practice it. When you have guests coming over for the celebrations in the next few months, let them know what the safety plan is. Let them know which windows they can get out of, especially the children. Okay, so I'd like to thank the ANO Support Services for Older Adults again. I'd like to thank all of you for participating so well in chat. That helps us a lot to be able to look at answers and to be able to engage with you. We can close the presentation now and go to Q&A, question and answer. How can we save victims of lightning fire? I mean, thunder and clouds, how can you avoid? Okay, so that's a really good question. And basically thunder is lightning, happens when you're in an opening area. So it's attracted to the highest point of ground. So it's much safer if you can get somewhere that is low. So if you're in a field, for example, find the ditch. Don't go near the tree. That will immediately, the lightning will want to strike the tree. So stay home, stay inside if there is lightning, okay? Stay inside your car if there's lightning, okay? Excellent. What was another question? Okay, that was there was a question in there, but I knew I couldn't answer that one. Hopefully somebody else answered that question. Yeah, is there anything that Bavleen or Harmandeep you want to add to the presentation or elaborate that you saw in chat? Anything you want to clarify? Oh, I wanted to clarify a point because it was raised in Harmandeep's about the wet blanket and the wet tea towel. Definitely do not want to put something else on the fire. You don't know what that tea towel or blanket is made of. You don't know what the fabric is. It might be highly flammable fabric, and all of a sudden you will have an explosion of fire. So, as Harmandeep said, you put a lid on the fire. Hopefully you're cooking with something with the lid beside you. You can put a cookie sheet on the fire. The idea is to smother the fire. And then you turn off the stove and you just don't worry about cooking supper because you just want to leave the stove alone until everything is cooled down. Okay? So I hope that really helps you understand that a grease fire is something that is highly, highly combustible. You want to smother the fire. Okay, cover it with something that will not catch fire. There was something else in chat. Turn off the stove. Oh, break windows. Someone had said that you can break windows to get out of a fire in your home. Yes, you can, but that might take a lot of time and you might be dealing with children. So breaking windows is not a it's probably like a third or fourth option. Opening the windows and yelling out the windows, opening the windows, blowing the whistle, that is the first thing you do if you can't get out of a window. Some windows, they have triple pane. They have 3 panes of glass in there. That can take a long time to break that window. So it's better if you think about exiting through the doors or exiting through the windows or alerting someone that you're in the house, still in the house. Okay? Bavleen and Harmandeep, was there anything else that was in chat that you wanted to clarify or elaborate on?
No, not really. Everything went good. And the question that was in the Q&A, I just answered it. Like after your answer, I just typed in the answer for them as well.
Awesome.
I would just like to say thank you so much to Gail, Harman, and Bavleen for their presentation today. And I also want to share that we are giving away door prizes for every session. So our 3 winners for this session are Claudia and Insun and Maojian. So you will get a small gift card in the mail. Congratulations.
Hey.
I would also like to promote our next session that will be at 1 o'clock today, 1 p.m. That will be about preventing falls. So falls prevention at 1 o'clock today. Thank you so much to our presenters and thank you everybody for coming and see you at 1 p.m. Have a good day, everybody.